One of the hallmark traits of narcissistic leadership is an inflated sense of self importance, a belief that the leader alone is uniquely capable of solving problems or embodying ideals. Justin Trudeau's time in office often reflects this trait, as he consistently positions himself as a global champion of progressive values. While these causes are undeniably important, critics argue that Trudeau's focus often appears to be more about securing his personal legacy than delivering measurable, meaningful results. Across various areas, Trudeau frequently casts himself as the face of progress, even when the outcomes fail to align with the promises. Another hallmark of narcissistic leadership is the constant need for admiration, and Trudeau's public persona often reflects this. His carefully curated image is central to his political approach. From taking selfies with voters to delivering dramatic, emotionally charged speeches, Trudeau consistently places himself in the spotlight. Internationally, his cultural performances, like wearing traditional outfits during visits to India or delivering symbolic gestures on the global stage. While his supporters see these actions as heartfelt, his detractors argue that they are often over the top and designed to elicit praise, rather than achieve meaningful diplomatic or policy outcomes. Empathy is a cornerstone of effective leadership. Despite speaking passionately about issues like affordability and equality, many of his policies have inadvertently made life harder for the average Canadian. Take the carbon tax, for example. While it's framed as an essential tool for combating climate change, its implementation has placed additional financial burdens on households already struggling with rising living costs. Trudeau's housing policies have been criticized for failing to address the root causes of Canada's housing affordability crisis. With home prices continuing to soar and supply issues unresolved, many Canadians feel left behind. These gaps between rhetoric and reality have led to accusations of a lack of empathy, a disconnect from the everyday struggles of the people he claims to champion. Instead of addressing these concerns directly, critics argue that Trudeau's responses often focus on defending his image rather than engaging with the underlying issues. Perhaps the most telling sign of narcissistic leadership is the tendency to exploit relationships for personal or political gain. Within Trudeau's government, this pattern has become increasingly apparent. One of the most significant examples is the resignation of Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. This isn't the first time prominent figures have exited Trudeau's government. These departures paint a picture of a leadership style that prioritizes loyalty and conformity over genuine collaboration, leaving little room for dissenting voices. When a narcissist leads a country, the effects can be profound and far-reaching. History offers other cautionary tales of narcissistic leadership. Leaders who prioritize personal glory often create environments of distrust and division, undermining institutions meant to serve the public. Resources are frequently misallocated, focused on initiatives that boost the leader's popularity rather than long-term national growth. This behavior not only stifles progress, but can exacerbate economic and social inequalities. When leaders seek admiration at all costs, criticism becomes a threat to their control, and dissenting voices are often silenced or marginalized. This can lead to a lack of collaboration and innovation, with decisions being made in echo chambers rather than through inclusive dialogue. With Canadians likely heading to an election sooner than expected, the question remains, will this be a turning point for the nation? Or just another chapter in a repeating cycle of history?